right, we're back again here, part 2. Let's talk about why it's a lack of young black men attending church in general. And it's my boy Mike, boy Carter,
What's up?
Reed. Yeah, so
man.
yeah, that's my boy. So we're just gonna elaborate a little bit more. I know that was a little rough draft, so I'm starting off with my brother Mike, man. Anything you want to say about, why is this? You feel like it's a lot of young black men, like in our generation, are not going to church as much or not taking it serious. Like, what's your thoughts on it?
I feel like, we grew up in the church, but, as we got older, graduate from high school or, get a job and, go to college and, life gets harder. And it's like, how am I going to not live, but man, church ain't doing it for me. Nobody's there for me. And it's just harder to live. So it's like, I'm going to just be by myself since I don't need y'all. And you are now by yourself, and now you don't have a whole lot of help, and you think that you can do it by yourself. But, it's better to be with someone who cares about you and got your best friend, male or female, that's going into the Word, seeing how you doing. And it doesn't have to be, just read the Bible, this and that. No, man. Right. You could go have fun, go to watch a movie, play golf, laser tag, movie, just a whole bunch of stuff.
It's interesting you brought that up as far as, that relationship, that companionship, as a young black man has with a woman that can encourage them to go to church. And you said, it could be a lack of that, like a lot of discouragement. That could be, I agree with that, man. Yeah, what's your thoughts on it, Reed?
Definitely, if you haven't been there in a long time, you might be worried if you come back. Like, some people might know something that you did. You feel me? People might gossip about it. People might not look at you the same. You'll feel judged when you come back. You feel judged at church. It's dumb why, black people always judge our own people instead of trying to build ourselves up. Not to mention that once you grow up, it's like, if you go to church as a young age, as a young black, as anybody really, it's like all they do is teach you about John 3:16, New Testament, Old Testament, and it's just like a part of knowledge. It's just like, especially if it's called Sunday school, you just get in that school mindset, and you're like, man, I don't really believe it. I mean, I might know it, kind of think it's true, but I never fully established that relationship with Yahweh, Elohim, Ruach HaKodesh, Most High. You feel me? I try to refrain from saying Jesus just because I feel like it takes on that European mindset, white Jesus, when the Bible takes place in legit Africa before it was colonized. That's a totally different story. And I feel like us as black people, we can't really relate to the Bible when the only thing that we see is, like, if you go to a church, and you know what I'm talking about too, they got that colored glass, that big glass is patterned. They got you got Jesus, you got someone, Paul or somebody kneeling down.
You see some sheep,
everything, or you look at the Michelangelo painting
white Jesus
finger. It's all whiteified, man. It's
like,
even hard for me if I'm reading the Bible. It's got pictures. It's like it's got to be African based for me.
Yes,
because that feeling when you watch Black Panther and you felt inspired after.
Keep going.
You felt sorry, the low battery thing popped up, 20%, man. But you remember when you watched Black Panther, if you were black, you felt empowered after watching it. Your morale was boosted. And that's the same way that I feel when I read the Bible and I research about the African countries around it and realize that it was us that was in the Bible.
Amen.
I'm not saying that we're any better than anyone, but I'm just saying it kind of makes me feel like I'm related to some superheroes or some way, bro. It builds morale, man. I can actually make a link of my emotion to it, man. And I feel like a lot of people don't have that link when they're reading the Bible. They just see God as this mysterious being, and they don't really develop that relationship. And that's what sets it apart from other religions. I don't even like to call it a religion because I'm not religious. I'm more spiritual. But You know, that's just my
Well, I want to say too, you know, and that was excellent right there, Mr. Reed. Thank you for that, and too, Mike.
Yeah.
I just want to say too, more of you know, you see what's going on with black people and between blacks and whites and white supremacy too, and so they feel like, you know, white Jesus ain't gonna save us. You know, we got all like hotels. You got people that's into the Black Power movement, and they kind of like drifting away from the church tradition. So we looking like as church as a last option, or you know, to those that doesn't read it on a consistent basis, or they do read it, they have a different mindset. You know, I'm just saying like, okay, well, all right, you know, God is this is our foundation. He's the one. He's gonna come and save us. But if you get shamed for having that narrative, believing that Jesus Christ is gonna come back and save us, I think that's a lot of pressure too. That's pushing away a lot of young black men from the church. You know, they really want that power. They really want that, like you said, that morale. They want, like I say, feel welcome, and just like, why would they dedicate something? They feel like it has so many questions. They feel like, you know, they can't see it, they can't feel it. You know, and I know, of course, too, not gonna be too religious on it. You know, it comes with the Holy Spirit, but that's the only way you can really receive some type of, you know, communication from the Lord. But yeah, that's what I really think too on that aspect, man. I mean, you know, the protesting. I mean, the Ilsar communities, that stuff going on, right? It's something new, and we've been going to the church for a long, long time. So I guess a lot of black men, you know, they just starting to give up on it. You know, just finding some other alternative.
definitely exactly what you said, man.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it's like a lot of black women are more present in the church, and once, like, in some of my experiences, I feel like if a woman takes the leadership role, like, I don't know, like, if she takes the leadership role as opposed to a man, I'm not gonna say the man feels devalued, but it kind of feels for me, it feels like I'm not on my job,
Yeah.
and like a woman is taking
Yeah.
place of something that I should be doing, and it kind of makes you feel like you're not enough, or kind of doesn't make you feel validated as a man.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not saying that you have to have power or be a leader to be validated as a man, but it just feels like you're not good enough to do something that you should be, and it also doesn't help your morale when you're like, there's only a couple black men who's actually being serious about going to church, or there's so many hypocrites in church, man. It's even when I be at my own church, man, I be like, I really don't want to be here,
Yeah.
but I got a couple real good connections there,
Yeah.
and
Same here, yo.
it's worth going to church just for having that brotherhood, man.
Or a sisterhood too.
Exactly. When you brought that up, the reason why, you know, I start going to, like, you know, I'm getting actively involved, you know, teaching Sunday school, learning about it, and I just feel a part of the church, you know, as opposed to just a regular member, you know. And I think that's why when the Black Panthers and all the other black groups were very successful, because they were always doing something. Everyone had a role. Black women, they have a role. You got the black women in the church, they either cooking, you know what I'm saying, they either organizing events, you know, a lot of black
Teaching children.
teaching children, they're doing a lot of those things, and you know, and they feel involved. Once you feel like you're involved in something, some of them get compensated for that, but for the most part, when you evolve into something, you feel like, okay, at the average person, you're going to dedicate your time to it, as opposed to, I'm just here, okay,
Right.
just to be here. They teaching the same thing as something I can learn for myself. And so, like, with me, I kept going because you know, my pastor, he pointed me as a Sunday school teacher, and I felt welcome. I felt like, okay, maybe I can show for my talents, and I feel important. So I'm gonna dedicate my life to this. So I think that's what it is. It's probably just a lack of black men involvement. I think too, that's another factor why young black men are not going to church in our generation. And too, you got some, like I said, the older generation of pastors going from an old narrative. We can touch on that.
Oh yeah, man.
it's
Not
not,
to
narrative.
mention,
It's not
dude,
relatable.
Not to
Yeah.
mention, the internet. Like, I'm 19, and like, we got all these kids, and whenever I work with kids, I don't even I'm realizing how big of an impact cell phones, Snapchat, all this social media has on 12-year-olds, 11-year-olds, 10-year-olds, even babies. They just put on an app on their phone, on their parents' phone. It keeps them calm, stuff like that. That's really not healthy, but that's a totally different discussion.
Yeah.
We're really the first internet that's got access, the first generation that has access to all this social media and internet, and taking like selfies, and we got a bunch of angry old people like, why are you taking selfies? You fool yourself. I'm like, it's Snapchat at the least. You feel me? There's such a divide and miscommunication from the youth and the elders.
Yeah.
And if there's not a lot of youth, there's really not a lot of youth in my church at all. I'm trying to change that, bring some people here, talk to some people, you feel me? Bring some people in, just rebuild it up, man. Even if it's just like 3, 4, 5 people.
Right.
Exactly.
At least not. I'm just not trying to have the youth looking empty, man. Because if we have no youth, the church over with.
Yeah, exactly. We the next generation.
Church got like 3 weeks left until it's over.
Right.
No, but I feel like people don't realize how to have fun. Like, they feel like if you dedicate your life to Yahweh or God, that you will never be able to drink no more. We ain't never gonna be able to have fun.
No parties.
You can't get your ears pierced. You can't get a tattoo.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
you can't live life. Right.
Which is
man, it's different, man. That's totally different, man. That's a whole nother subject,
you still have Christian fun. That's what people don't understand. But it's a lack of, like I said, it's a lack of that, man. But that's communication, exactly. And like I said, and building a relationship between us and the older generation too. And like I said, you don't want to go to the church and you be judged, because of your youth. And you got some people that's very intelligent as you, like 11, 12 years old, can speak really well, know the Bible, but they don't give them a chance, because they're young. Oh, you too young, right? They feel unwelcome. Exactly. Short attention span.
You got tattoos.
Yeah. Or you had a baby out of wedlock. It's just like right? Exactly. So it's a lot of that. And a lot of kids don't want to just be known for that. They're like, you know what? Forget it. I can just read the Bible on my own and live my life. Whatever. So I think that's what the reason. Man. We do. And like I said, and the thing is about Satan, like he has his kingdom, they all organized. I feel like as Christians, as believers, we gotta be organized. You know what I'm saying? We got Baptists, Methodists, Seventh-day Adventists, non-denominational, all kinds of different religions, man. And because everybody want to go their own different agenda, and everyone's not collectively together. That's the thing. So, and if people don't take us serious too, Christianity, in the Western society as much, man. So it could be a lot of that, and a lot of young men, especially black men, don't want to associate themselves with it. But the question is, should young black men go to church? Despite all this, should they just?
We hit that topic, man. I think we should, rebuild with the youth, the inner city.
Yeah.
Young black men working with the older generation, black women working with the younger and older generation. Cause if who else but us, man? Right. We are the only ones who can lift ourselves up.
Amen.
We need each other badly.
Yep. Okay. Any other thoughts?
That's it, man. It was just really off top. It's really technically a live video, man.
Yeah.
We just wanted to throw something out there, man. It's Sunday. Keep enjoying y'all Sundays. It's my first time really being behind camera talking like this, so it's kind of weird. I always thought I'd run out of stuff to say, man.
You got it, brother.
It's cool, man.
Attorney Reed right here.
Attorney, programming computers all day, man. All day.
All right, man.
Virtual Reed X over
it's here. My boy Mike here, him too, man. He was in the Levon K-Son podcast,
Understudy.
Shout out to the boy, man. Malcolm X the GOAT.
Marcus Garvey.
GOAT. Frederick Douglass.
Yes.
We'll throw MLK up there, but you feel
JFK
me?
a little bit.
JFK.
JFK all right. He all right.
JFK, the coldest president. A lot of the coldest of presidents got assassinated. You feel me? I don't know too many presidents who got cancer, but we're not even gonna get
Black
into
Panther,
that, man.
Fred Hampton, all of them, man. Huey Newton, all of them. But yeah, man, this is all I want to say. It's going on for almost 14 minutes, man. I appreciate you guys checking in on this.
Hey, watch this video, y'all.
Please watch it. Share, like, comment, subscribe. Should black men go to church, man? Y'all gotta please support. I thank you for all the new supporters, the old supporters as well. Continue to give more content to you guys. You guys enjoy your Sunday, man. I love y'all.
What's up? Add me on the Snap too, boy. Reester_98. REEDSTER _98.
Nice, that's intelligent brother here.
That's all my social media platforms. I ain't really changed to speaking about consciousness. I don't be taking social media serious. You feel me? You feel me? I accidentally sent that Snapchat, man. You feel me? You feel me? I'm on Snapchat right now, man. I can't really take social media serious. I just throw some stuff out there. Throw a little selfie action. But other stuff, man. Enjoy y'all Sundays, man. I apologize for the swear word, man. But we out here.
All right, man. Y'all take care. I love y'all.